What's definitely getting out of hand? Already out of hand and has been for a while, but keeps getting worse, advertisements everywhere. I find the worst part is the repetition. In one evening of TV watching, I might see the same commercial 20 or 30 times. Sometimes the same commercial plays back to back or twice within one break. There should be laws against this kind of spam. It's brainwashing. I grow to despise certain commercials. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Why do we put up with it? And worse is that we pay for this shit. I can't stand the earworm jingles. There should definitely be a law restricting the number of times the same commercial can be used within a time frame. What kind of damage is this doing to kids and developing brains? Monthly subscriptions. Not just streaming services. Software, games, and even vehicle features. It's like the MBAs from MBB have their hands in everything now. This is a huge contributing factor to how expensive living is today. You can never pay off a subscription, it is forever until cancelled. Not to mention it's much more difficult to own physical media these days too. You're only licensing access, not taking ownership. Grocery prices. Right. Is anyone else finding it harder and harder to just afford to live, month on month? Definitely. The prices got high but packets are smaller. The former normal size of everything are now family size in my country. The level of brightness on new car lights. Thanks, Mr. New Car Driver. I didn't need my retinas anyway. I hate when I flash my brights cause I think theirs are on. But then they flash their actual brights, and I can't see colors for 3 days. The cost to simply be alive and take care of yourself. I work 20 hours a week on an internship and I still make less than $9,000 a year. Anyone working in my position, $9 an hour, full-time, 40 hours a week, will quite simply not be able to live off of $18,000. It's just not possible. And it's frustrating because you look around Reddit and hear stories of people back in the day working minimum wage making enough to afford a home for a family of 7. Then, in contrast, you see boomers who grew up in those times shaming us for not having the same utilities they had. We didn't get lazier, they ruined the world for us and won't take accountability for it. For context, my job doesn't provide health insurance, so there goes $400 of my paycheck every month. I now have $200 for rent, food, water, bills, and tax, so let's just bump that down to $180. If not for college dorms, I would be homeless and or starving. Jobs asking for 5+ years of experience being listed as entry level. My favorite one that I saw somewhere on Reddit was a programmer job asking for 10 years of experience in a programming language that wasn't even around 10 years ago. There was one that was something like an applicant being told they didn't have the necessary experience in a specific language, with the applicant pointing out that the language wasn't created that long ago, and that they were the one who created it to begin with. Apps. Every business, website, service, you name it has its own damn app now. 3-factor authorization also means that I have to download several apps on my personal phone just to be able to access sites required by my employer to do my job. My work used to do that, until a bunch of employees started insisting that, if they're making us use our personal phones for work-related reasons, i.e., authenticators, then they legally have to pay us a subsidy because they're forcing us to use equipment we paid for work. It apparently worked because a few months ago, they all gave us a YubiKey and told us to delete the authenticators off our phones. Short videos on every social media app. It destroys the attention span and critical thinking abilities, mainly for children that grow up with these apps watching endless short videos. They will have no motivation to do something else that costs more effort, and it is truly concerning. As an adult, YouTube Shorts really sucks you in, and it's a huge time waste. Especially when it bounces between "Ah, cute puppy" to "cop bodycam footage of a shooting" back to kittens" to missile strikes. It is awful, and bouncing between those emotions and short attention spans to a topic as an adult, I can't imagine what it's doing to kids. Also, the number of longer videos instead of articles. I'm so fucking sick of seeing a news post on Reddit, clicking it, and it being a 10 to 15 minute video where the YouTuber just rambles on and on and on, when I could have been a 2-minute article of facts. This applies to major news outlets too. If I click on your link, and it's just a video, I'm not watching. Let me read the article at my own pace so I can go look up things if I need to. Every place asking for a tip. Uses the self-checkout kiosk. Would you like to leave a tip? Main character syndrome. Social media feeding into people's narcissism. 100% this. The amount of self-absorbed, selfish, and entitled people that are around now infuriates me. Saw some girl get on a bus the other day and refused to pay because she's a girl and it was only down the road a bit, so why should she have to pay? And the fact the company makes loads of money anyway. Whatever makes them think they're so special and more deserving than others. I don't know, but they're wrong. I swear this got worse after people came back from COVID somehow. Like people are way more impatient now, especially while driving. Or at least it seems to be that way where I am. Literally everything, everyone raising their prices for seriously everything. I have gotten so many. We are raising our prices this year to growing inflation. And yes, the items are smaller. You don't get the same as you did before, or the product is worse. They all say we need to raise the rates for something because they can't afford to keep running their business on the prices now. But yet they show record profits. It's insane. I just got charged $49 for internet hosting that was $22 3 years ago. It's maddening. Ignorance. So many poorly educated people with no desire to learn. Self-education is now seen as a chore instead of a great skill or power. Knowledge is power. My brother's high school freshman schedule was just sent to us. Not one history class in the whole year. No wonder history is cyclical, because we're failing to teach the past. Meanwhile, in the other side of the spectrum, my county school system does the same history like 5 times. Ads on YouTube. I remember the good old days when ads would never exceed 15 seconds. Now it's normal for a video to start with a 15-second ad, followed by a 5 to 6 second one. Sometimes I even get 2 15-second ads back to back. Not to mention the creators that are getting screwed over for randomly having their content labeled as kids content and getting comments turned off automatically. And the actual kids content is super messed up and unmoderated. People falsely claiming their dog is a service animal so they can take it with them anywhere they want. Very tired of aggressive people with poorly trained threatening dogs decked out in service animal vests from Amazon. I was at Disneyland and saw a woman with 2 pugs dressed up as service dogs. Like, ma'am, your dog is constantly on the verge of asphyxiation and can barely think that's to a low blood oxygen content. There's no way it's providing you with a life-saving service. My wife and I train service dogs and this shit pisses me off so much. I was at a small dollar store last week doing some training with one of the dogs when this woman's shitty little service dog started going off at my dog. My dog is one of the program's big breeding males and, while he's an absolutely top-notch service dog who won't engage with this other dog, he won't stand down if attacked. So I redirect him back down the aisle to give distance, and to try to leave the store from one of the other aisles. Dipshit had her dog on a retractable leash and made no effort to stop it when it chased us down the aisle. When we tried to leave through the other aisles, the other dog would run over to the next aisle and chase us back down, again. No effort to stop the 30 feet retractable leash. This 10 pounds nightmare had me, a 200 pounds guy, and a 80 pounds lab trapped in the back corner of the store. Since I was teaching my big guy to stay chill in this situation, this is the kind of bullshit we train for in public access sessions after all. We rolled with it for a while, but both he and I were starting to get stressed out at this point. After being trapped for 15 minutes, I started to lose my shit at this woman, and had to make it an issue. We train dogs for physical assistance, auditory assistance, and PTSD. Had I been a handler in any one of those groups, this stupid little dog could have caused severe consequences. I personally believe that unregistered service animal capes should be made illegal, and that anyone with a service animal should be able to produce public access handler accreditation immediately. People, leave your untrained animals at home. Comment sections on social media. They used to be pretty fun to scroll through and engage with. Now it's mostly full of insufferable people who get off on arguing with strangers online, picking fights over literally anything. You've been on the internet a long time, fellow human, if you remember when the comments section wasn't a toxic cesspool. In fairness, so have I. The pressure from social media to look absolutely perfect at all times, to the point where everyday people are having surgery to alter their looks. People at the gym recording videos thinking everyone should let them have their way always at the gym since they are recording. That is why I love swimming. You don't see that. Nowhere to keep your phone while you swim laps. How people easily get replaced, be it jobs, friendships, or relationship. Planned obsolescence. The absolute worst. How is it that a $400 phone and $1,500 phone have the same 1-year warranty? Amusement park prices, both admission and the prices inside the park. We went to Cedar Point last month. Tickets were $125, parking another $30. $16 for a funnel cake, $10 game, and it was literally $50 for 4 small frozen yogurts. Was bullshitting with one of the employees and mentioned the absurd prices, and she told me that she would have to work for 2 hours to afford 1 funnel cake. The prices are audacious on their own, but knowing that they aren't even properly compensating their employees after all that price gouging is absolutely infuriating. What's definitely getting out of hand? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.